Hello you beautiful people, it's Liquid here giving you a warm welcome back or to the channel. Whichever one applies to you, a very warm welcome to you today. Now for today's video we're going to be taking a look at my performance with the Virtual Ukrainian SU27 demo from the Summer Air Festival. I'm going to be taking you through the entire demo from the cockpit and letting you see just how things looked from my point of view. So without further ado, let's jump into the cockpit. So jumping into the cockpit then, and we are approaching the beautiful burning lake. We're going to line ourselves up on the shoreline and head towards the beautiful show site. Now we're coming in from show right here, and we're going to start the display with a full loop, and we want to do that directly on show center. You can see I'm constantly checking left, and I'll make a quick glance to the right to make sure we're in the correct position. Burners on, up and over the top to begin the loop. Now on the descent, as we head back towards the loop, we set the power to 90%, because as we come back down towards the lake, we're going to be going straight up into the tail slide. And you don't want to climb way too high with the tail slide, you want to keep it relatively close. However, the safety altitude for the tail slide here was 1500 meters. So as we approach that 1500 meter safety altitude, we cut the throttles to idle, and we're looking to maintain 70 degrees. A little pull back as the aircraft starts to fall, and we apply just a little bit of power, and then we're going to rotate the aircraft to the right, head back towards the shoreline to prepare for the minimum radius turn. Burners on, a pitch up, and we bank left to begin the minimum radius turn. Keeping an eye very closely on the altitude, because you can see just how quickly the water is passing by below us. Upon completion of the minimum radius, we are into a cheeky aileron roll. And keeping the burners going up and over the top, we're going to kick the aircraft over 90 degrees to begin our reposition for the second tail slide of the show. And we want our tail to be positioned directly towards the show center. So keeping a slightly higher power setting as we get rid of the afterburners, we're going to climb up onto that show center marker. And once again looking for 70 degrees and 1500 meters. We add some flares with this one, and as the aircraft starts to fall back, a little bit more power applied. You can see we almost go vertical on the drop. Now you can see just how quickly the trees actually start to approach you even at slow speed. And we're going to continue over the trees here to come in from the other side at show left, and this is going to be the slow high alpha pass. Now for the slow high alpha pass, you're looking for 20 units of AOA with a minimum speed of around 200 kilometers. We're going to start pulling that nose up as we bring the jet onto the shoreline, and we're going to be checking our positioning as well just to make sure we're in the correct place. See the power adjustments on the engine RPM gauge there. And then a little push on the nose, the air brake will retract. And this little crevice to the right of the lake was used as a reference point for the reposition. And literally making the turn on the edge of the lake. Going to head back in towards the lake, and this is going to be the 3 aileron rolls. Now, quite an aggressive pitch up for this one, because I found when I was doing the training flights, if I didn't pitch the aircraft up high enough, it was very unsafe to complete the 3 rolls because you didn't have enough of a clearance before you were getting very close to the trees, and you had to make a really sharp pull up, and it didn't make the demo look smooth at all. So kicking the aircraft up and over the top, coming back in towards show center. Looking for a speed no greater than 470. It's time for the Cobra. Re-enabling the DSC and kicking in the afterburners. Once again, using this crevice to the right of the lake as a reference point. And 1500 meters, once again, our safety altitude for this one. So we're setting ourselves up for the inverted pass now, and we're going to be coming back in from show right. Up and over the treetops, getting ready to pitch it up and roll over. Now, I was a little bit offline here with the inverted pass. You can see we're creeping just on the other side of the show line, but thankfully not creeping too much. Now, a really tight reposition here. You can see just how quickly the flanker will bleed some speed. We've got the air brake out just to bleed a little bit more speed. And at these slow speeds, to make this tight transition, a little bit of rudder and a little bit of power to get the flanker to turn. And we're going to be coming in for the fake landing. So the speed's looking good. We're dropping it lower and lower towards the lake, but not too low. Don't want to dip into that lake when bad things happen. So as we approach show center, pitching the aircraft up, starting the roll, and as we're transitioning through the roll, we retract the gear to continue on to the rest of the display. Burners on up into the sky once again, coming up and over the top. And we're going to be rolling out for the topside pass. And you can see by the engine RPM gauge using a little bit of asymmetric thrust here just to hold the aircraft in this position. Matching the engines back up, kicking the burners once again. Up and over the top, almost in an Immelman. We're going to be looking for that show center marker once again. This is to make sure our positioning is going to be good for the spiral flare finale. You can see the show line there, pulling up, kicking in the burners once again, checking our position, holding the aircraft with full left stick, a little bit of forward pressure on the stick as well to keep the aircraft in the vertical, deploying all the flares we have left in the jet. You can see our speed dropping as low as 270 kilometers on top there. Also the reason why we keep the afterburners in as you come up and over the top. It's also an important thing to keep an eye on that speed, just to be safe. Once again, using a small amount of asymmetric thrust, the left engine was kept on a lower power setting, and the right engine was used to keep the aircraft coming back down in a spiral. We've just performed the spiral flare finale, so we descend in a little bit of a spiral. Now we keep this left hand turn going across the treetops, as we're going to be coming back in on the shoreline for the final time. Another blast of the burners and a wing wave to say thank you to everyone in chat. And on that note, not just a thank you to everyone in chat, but of course the organisers, everyone behind the scenes, all the teams. It was an absolutely incredible show. There's the wing wave, holding it inverted, and we begin to exit the show site. And that wraps up this run through of the demo from the cockpit side of things. I really hope you have enjoyed it. I appreciate it as always if you've taken the time to watch this far. If you have any questions, I will be doing a rough Q&A video very soon. There's a couple of things I'd like to expand on when it comes to this demo. Basically, I've been doing it quite some time now. So if you do have any questions, please do chuck them in the comment section. Thank you as always for watching. Once again, massively appreciated. I'll catch you in the next video, but until then, this is LIKWID, signing off.